Ukraine intensified its series of deep strikes into Russian territory, continuing a calculated campaign to dismantle Moscow's logistical and operational capabilities. According to Euromaidan Press media outlet, dealing devastating damage to critical infrastructure, these precision operations aim to weaken Russia's ability to sustain its war effort. It is noted that the target of the first attack was the Engels Air Base in the Saratov Oblast. According to the latest reports, the fire has already destroyed 3 massive fuel tanks and damaged 6 more, holding over 1 million cubic meters of fuel. Engels is a vital hub for Russian strategic aviation and has now been targeted twice by Ukrainian forces, with the latest strike igniting an inferno that has been burning for almost a week. This base serves as a launch point for long-range bombers involved in missile attacks on Ukraine, making it a priority target for the Ukrainian armed forces. The destruction of fuel depots at Engels, which support these bombers, has created logistical challenges, severely disrupting Russian air operations. Russian emergency services have struggled to contain the blaze for over 5 days, underscoring the scale of the destruction. This operation exemplifies Ukraine's ability to reach deep into Russian territory and target assets critical to Moscow's war machine. Euromaidan Press says that to achieve this goal and ensure the maximum level of destruction, Ukrainians utilized a 3-phase strategy. First, a general drone strike was launched to trigger and identify air defense positions and establish precise flight patterns. Second, pinpoint strikes neutralized these defenses. And finally, the main blow was delivered against high-value targets under clear skies. The second and third strikes in the Ukrainian campaign exemplify this strategy with attacks on Taganrog and Milerovo airfields in the Rostov Oblast. Ukrainian drones overwhelmed Russian air defenses, forcing them to engage and reveal their positions. This preliminary phase was followed by targeted strikes that destroyed critical air defense systems such as the Pantsir S-1, S-300 and Buk M1 units. By disabling these defenses, Ukraine ensured unimpeded access for subsequent strikes on vital targets. The same methodology was employed in the next strike in Rostov, where drones overloaded Russian air defense, followed by a direct hit by a Neptune missile, delivering a devastating blow against a warehouse with reconnaissance drones that correct enemy strikes on Ukrainian cities and the front lines. Ukrainian forces also struck the naval base in Novorossiysk in a daring drone operation, which is home to elements of the Black Sea Fleet. Though details of the damage remain unclear, the attack signals Ukraine's intent to continue tormenting the Russian naval dominance in the Black Sea. Finally, a significant blow was also dealt in Tatarstan, where a drone strike ignited a massive fire at the Taneko oil refinery. This facility is a crucial component of Russia's energy infrastructure, and the damage further strains Moscow's ability to sustain its war economy. Overall, these strikes serve clear strategic and operational goals. By targeting logistical hubs, airfields, command posts, and key infrastructure, Ukraine seeks to degrade Russia's ability to wage war effectively.
Israeli government spokesman David Mencer told Sky News on Thursday that there had been a walking away by Hamas from the ceasefire deal. There has been a walking away from certain aspects of this agreement to free our hostages, which was agreed to previously. But now Hamas have walked away, Mencer said. This deal cannot be brought to Israel's cabinet to vote on until it is finalized, he added. According to Associated Press, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said Thursday his cabinet won't meet to approve the agreement for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and the release of dozens of hostages until Hamas backs down from what it called a last-minute crisis. Netanyahu's office accused Hamas of reneging on parts of the agreement in an attempt to extort last-minute concessions. It did not elaborate. The Israeli cabinet was set to ratify the deal Thursday. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes across the Gaza Strip have killed at least 48 people over the past day. In previous conflicts, both sides have stepped up military operations in the final hours before ceasefires go into effect as a way to project strength.
The Israeli government wants this deal to be finalized, but only a finalized deal, which is agreed to on all sides, can be brought to Israel's cabinet. It cannot be a deal which is correct in some places and not in others. So what our Prime Minister has this morning, our officers this morning said, is that there has been a walking away from certain aspects of this agreement to free our hostages, which was agreed to previously, but now Hamas have walked away. I won't be sharing any of the details on air with you right now, but the Prime Minister's, our office statement has said that there remains disagreement. Some things which we thought were agreed have been changed, and until the agreement is finalized, again, with this jihadi organization, not famous for making agreements, plus we're in the Middle East, where in the last minute people try to get the best deal for themselves. This deal cannot be brought to Israel's cabinet to vote on until it is finalized.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is making a last-minute case Tuesday for a plan for the post-war reconstruction and governance of Gaza as a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas appears tantalizingly close to completion. Blinken is touting the proposal, which has been in the works for a year, and discussed the importance of ensuring its success after the Biden administration leaves office in a speech to the Atlantic Council, a Washington-based think tank. At one point during his speech, Blinken was interrupted by a protester shouting from the audience. The protester shouted, "You will forever be known as Bloody Blinken, Secretary of Genocide." Blinken and his top aides have spent months trying to sell Israel, the Palestinian Authority and Gulf Arab nations on the plan, which outlines how Gaza would be run without Hamas in charge, details reconstruction priorities and provides for security in the territory that has been devastated by the war that began in October 2023 after Hamas attacks inside Israel.
We continue to lead and strengthen an 87-nation counter-ISIS coalition. In the wake of the Trump administration's unilateral and misguided exit from the Iran nuclear deal, we made clear there was a path to mutual return to compliance if Tehran was willing to take the steps necessary. At the same time, we strengthened America's robust sanctions regime on Iran and delivered on President Biden's commitment.
You will forever be known as Bloody Blinken, Secretary of Genocide. You have the blood of hundreds of thousands of innocent people on your hands. We have spent
Thank you. I respect your views. Please allow me to share mine. Thank you.